Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Ken the Revolutionary. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Karibu, karibu, karibu for another session. Karibu, 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 karibu. Do you feel welcome already? All right, my hair is kind of messed up, but paka nywele tengenezwa kidogo, nijipambarishe kidogo. Anyway, enough of that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades. This is Ken the Revolutionary. I'll be here approximately, roughly 1 hour. Maybe if something else comes up, then I might stay longer. But basically, I'll be here for now. Okay, all right? So, karibu. Today, we shall continue with our deep dive. Let's look at these two guys. It's an extension of yesterday's, but, today is more, I'll be doing more reaction. And then maybe I might bring people in the studio. Just depends on how it goes, as usual. Okay. As you know, if you're looking for news of the day is Gachagua had a press conference. It was like a 2 hour long ordeal. He went about trying to defend himself against the charges, the grounds, the reasons that they have against him that they want to impeach him for. So he went up there and, went on. Karibu sana Gypsy Corner, I see you. Karibu. Nice seeing you. I'm excited. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Again, so Gachagua had a press conference and he went on about, how much he owns, how much money he made when he sold his brother's stuff, how much is in his account, and all that good stuff. You know how it goes. Yes, it's never ending. Kenya, vipindi, nakwambia vipindre, the way they say it or whatever the case is. Mchezo wa town. But nevertheless, Gachagua was up there, lecturing, well, not lecturing us, but, giving an explanation. I kind of saw this whole thing as really being silly, but, it is what it is. He went out there, explained how he made his money, how his late brother would be embarrassed of him being in politics. He left some money for his kids. Some of it went to Gachagua. He got 20% of it. It was just a whole bunch of nothing to me. It wasn't relevant to me. I think if he was to explain himself, he would have gone to during the impeachment process, because he will be afforded time to go to the National Assembly or Senate or whatever the case is, or whatever that committee is, and just, spill the beans about how you made your money and all that stuff. We all know you're corrupt. Since you're a DODC those days, we all know you had been having cases here and there. I mean, come on, you're not fooling anyone. But I get what he was trying. It's a PR thing, He's trying to explain to people. He's a truthful man. He likes speaking the truth. He hasn't never stolen a chicken or even nothing a goat. I wasn't that interested in it. But we'll play a clip of it and just, have it. That's not the main meal, okay? That's not the main meal. But yeah, did you find the mirroring wording of Ruto? No, I did not yet. I haven't found that yet. No, but I will kind of look for it. Okay? Thank you so much. Anyway, so Morara came out with a couple of videos. He's really on a media, blitz. He had a couple of videos explaining his next move. Talking about NIS infiltrated one of his organization or whatever the case is. And then he was also at Spice FM. And I will go through the entire Spice FM thing. I have time. It's kind of like a 40-minute interview. And there are three things that caught my attention when he was being asked some questions. And his answer kind of troubled me personally. And I will tell you what those three things are. Then, before that, our friend, our buddy, our favorite individual, Kasmuel Makoure, he met with the Ayatollah of Opoda, the number one terrorist, the head of the terrorist organization called ODM, Raila Amolo Odinga. They took a picture where they went to meet somewhere. I mean, you can see the thumbnail. And they were with, what's his name? Gaucho, whatever. Listen, if you don't know who Gaucho is, yes, Inject is the new party of Morara. Yes, that's the name of it. If you don't know who Gaucho is, just do your homework. He's not somebody you want to rub shoulders with. So apparently, this Gaucho guy has been kind of the person who lets, he's the plug, he's Makoure's plug into Jacaranda and all this, all these forums that's happening, in the hood or whatever the case is. He's the go-to guy. But, it is what it is. Whatever. So anyway, they went and met the Lord of Poverty, the Ayatollah of Opoda, none other than Corman Thiringenyi, Agwambo Thiringenyi, Raila Amolo Odinga. And they took a picture, they were cheesing it up, took, photo op, whatever. We will go through that. It's nothing much to talk about it. It is what it is. You can just tell. I mean, Kasmuel at this point, he knows is pretty much everybody has figured him out. I saw him explain himself in one of the news programs. He was saying, like, listen, I'm a national figure, so I would be meeting different kind of people who I don't agree with ideologically, but somebody might just see me with somebody else and take a picture with us and assume that we are in one. It was just a bunch of nonsense explanation, which we saw through this. I mean, again, yes, it is. It is. Like I said before, Kasmuel just did more than just shake hands with these so-called oppressors, people who are part of the problem. Kasmuel, spoke in one podium and was basically in agreement with them, advocating for the same things, that shenanigans that these politicians, failed politicians, are advocating for. So, I mean, there's no excuse for Kasmuel. He can talk all he wants, and it was just to me. I just found it funny when he was referring to himself as I'm a national figure now. It's a bunch of silliness. But I want to focus on my attention on Morara, because Morara is still the darling, the flavor of the month. The flavor of the month, who still a lot of people still like, which I don't have a problem with him. If you like him, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, the early red flags that I saw on Kasmuel is the same red flags that I'm seeing with Morara. So let's get to it. Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining me right now, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. If you're just getting this recommendation, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment, do all the good stuff, okay? If this is your first time and you're wondering what this channel is about, this is about Kenyan politics. Sometimes we talk about politics in some places, whether it's in Europe, US, or whatever the case, we talk about all of that. So go ahead and subscribe if this is your first time you haven't subscribed. And if you are already subscribed and you're already here, you just got the notification, you're in, the first order of business is what? Like the video, like it, share it on your WhatsApp political discussions, okay? Go ahead and share it, and let's push this video out there and let a lot of people, as many people want to know about this channel, so they can come and be part of the Nino. Yes. Now that I've got that all out of the way, and one more thing too. One more. Again, if you've subscribed, if you've liked, and if you've shared, make sure you put your notification button on, so every time I come in live, you can always get me, so you can, join in the discussion, right? Gypsy Corner is telling me here, Morara is also saying he doesn't hate Ruto, but he wants Gachagua to stop disrespecting Ruto. Yes, these are the things that I'm just, the more they talk, the more they expose themselves. The more they talk, the more they expose. I'm not saying that he should come out and say that he hates Ruto. No, our disagreement, the majority of Kenyans' disagreement with Ruto is where he's taking the country. It's not a personal hate thing, okay? If you're leading us on a ditch, we have to tell you, and if you don't listen to what we are telling you, then we have no choice but to see how we can remove you. That's the whole point. It's not about hate, but it's about yes. Kasmuel Makure has earned himself a new build from Ruto and his goons for camouflaging the public. Absolutely, yes, he is there with the oppressors. So Kasmuel is a gone case. He is a gone case. Now let's just listen to Morara Kibaso. He gave a video. He has some couple of videos I didn't quite have had the time to listen to, but I would like to play them just to listen to him. They're kind of lengthy. I'll just break it down a little bit. I'll stop him if he says something that I need to know. But the one, like I say, today it should be more of a reaction video, especially the one Spice FM. The Spice FM interview that he did today was more revealing than anything. And I will tell you why, because he mentioned 3 things that really caught my attention, and I will tell you what they are. But first, let's listen to his his news updates or whatever the case he was telling us. Let's hear it out. Here it is.
What happened in Bomas was very unfortunate. I did not speak about it yesterday.
Now,
when we had the
hold on. Wait a minute. Calma. I want to speak on something. One thing that I want to mention. Me too. I do not. One thing that I want to mention, and I want us to review this video very carefully. I want you guys to help me. And I want you to use your senses, your common sense, your observation skills, your eye test. Just watch his body language very carefully. Very carefully. Before I even start that video, I won't play that video the first one. There was one that he was giving. He was walking like an old man, and just look at his facial expression. Look at how he's carrying himself. Now, I'm not doubting that there are some chairs that were thrown towards him or whatever when he was Bomas. We all saw what happened. But he was not very specific on the extent of the damage that happened to his body. In my view, I don't think he was that, akuumia hivyo sana, but there's some, in my view, in my estimation, in my opinion, I don't think he was that hurt, because when the chairs were thrown at him, he was running, and he ran. Alikimbia, we saw him moving well. Hata vile alitoka building, he was moving well. But funny enough, when he gave a press conference the next day or whatever the case is, he was all, let me show you what I'm talking about. I know you are wondering what I'm talking. Let me show you something. That's why I'm telling you. Let me show you. Real quick before I get to that first review. Okay, let me show you real quick. Can you just, Ebu, watch this very carefully. Okay? Watch this very carefully. Right? All right, Tuanze. This is Morara. So this was given, this is a press conference that was given. I don't know if it was in front of his house. All right, I want you to watch his body language.
issue of data privacy. Songa nyuma. Sasa ni hatuna mic. Kabisa tumekatoa hapa. Sasa nimesimama mahali mbaya spokesman. Sini wetu. Hata kama ni wenyu. Hata kama ni wenyu. When it comes to issue of data privacy. Sasa songa nyuma.
So you see how he's moving, he's all sloshed up, you know, anakaa hivi ni kama sijui ame you know, he's hunched up, anatembea hivi like an old man, you know. And this is why I want to question, when he was being attacked, I'm not disputing that he was attacked, but what I'm questioning is the extent to which he was injured, the extent of injuries he incurred. When he was leaving that building, Bomas, he was walking straight, he was running. Of course, they had his body, his bodyguards or whatever the case, they were protected. And he was walking upright, he was, you know, he was okay. But here he is, you can see he's all like Amze, he's all, and I'll show you another angle of the same video, and you can see his face. He kind of looks like, man. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'll show you another angle of the same video, okay? You guys ready? Hold on. I want to show you that. Let me see if I can find it, because there's another version of that video. Okay, here it is. I want to show you that. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. I will come. Listen, take a look carefully. It's the same video, but a different angle. Now look at his body language. This is a guy who was supposedly injured, and we don't know the extent at which he was injured. Let's look at it.
Come here.
Yeah. So now.
Yes, I do.
Mkiwa ready mtuambie.
Tuko ready, I think. Mwenye atakuja kusimama anasonga hapo kwa podium. Anaongea.
Look at his face. Keep on looking. Focus on his face.
Whoever there is start. We are ready.
Introduce yourself.
Have you eaten? Umekula?
Tutakula.
Make sure you eat. The food is so much, you can't finish.
It's okay.
Mkiwa ready mniambie.
In 3, 2, 1.
Good. I'm Moindi, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Morara Kebaso family.
While this video is playing, please focus on Morara's face. He almost wants to start laughing because he knows he's playing around. This is acting. Let's go ahead. The reason why I'm saying this, because later on I'll show you on the Spice FM interview when I think was Eric who asked him, oh, you incurred some injuries, you broke whatever tissues, and he avoided explaining the extent of his anemia and quickly switched up to another with the topic that he was saying. So look at his face. Here is his face. Please focus on that. Mwangalie vizuri.
This is a family, and I'm speaking on his behalf. We are here to condemn what happened at Bomas of Kenya when the young man Morara was attacked before the media houses, before the glare of government officers, police, fully in uniform, armed to protect every Kenyan, before leaders of parliament, and Kebaso was literally attacked and armed, a piece of Kenyan who had gone to participate in what we were calling a public participation. And Kebaso had gone there as another Kenyan, as a citizen, to give his views on the participation. Unfortunately, Kebaso was attacked before uniformed officers who ushered him in to the hall, assuring him in that his security was safe. And before the leaders of parliament. And unfortunately, every Kenyan, world all over, people could hear members of parliament, fathers of children, probably senior to Morara, shouting and telling the crowd their wounds to attack this young man, including a member of parliament, a woman, a mother, shouting and telling people,
What's that?
Chapa yeye. It is unfortunate that the country, Kenya, a peaceful nation where people go to church, we say we are Christians, peaceful, loving people, saying attack him, kill him. That was quite unfortunate. Words being spoken, everybody listening, this is not a secret, quite unfortunate. And we are here as a family to condemn one of us, to tell the world that Kebaso has a family where he comes from. He has a region. If we talk of regions, he has a region where he comes from. Kebaso is a peaceful young Kenyan who has every right to speak. We have not seen the IG issuing a press statement or the officers who are on the ground issuing a press statement condemning this.
Again, maintain your focus on Gachagua, Morara's face, okay? You see the way he's all hunched over, like he's looking down, sura anangalia, his neck is like, ni kama anangalia chini. But in his videos, when he's making press conference, even at Spice FM, he's sitting upright, okay? For somebody who has like neck problems, no. And Maris made a very good point there. Here where we said he has a neck injury without a neck brace. How is that possible? That's why I'm saying, and again, later on I will play that Spice FM interview. And when Eric mentioned about the injuries, he did not elaborate on how bad he was injured. Ali, watch your story. In fact, he never mentioned how injured he is. He just said I was attacked and all that. But again, while we watch this video, look closely at Morara's face. All through this video, angalia his reaction. Let's go.
This, we have not seen Kebaso was arrested the other day and arraigned in court on a cybercrime issue when something that is so private being investigated. The people who attacked Kebaso before the media, mchana, haikuwa usiku. Everybody saw them. Walionekana mchana usiku. Nobody has been arrested up to now. They are being protected by their political godfathers. It is unfortunate that this country has gone to the dogs. Quite unfortunate. But we are here to tell them that the God in heaven will revenge on this harmful Kebaso without a gun, without wounds in black. The God in heaven will revenge. The Bible is clear. We carry Bibles even today. Some of those who attacked Kebaso were in church. The Bible is clear. God is asking the history of Saul and Abel and Cain and Abel. Where's your brother? He says, I don't know. I'm not my brother's keeper. But God says, the blood of your brother is calling upon me. Those who attacked Kebaso at the Bomas, his blood,
look at his face,
is calling upon, God is calling upon the blood of Kebaso. God will revenge on our behalf. It is high time, and we demand the IG and his team, the director of CID, where are those people who attacked Kebaso before the media cameras were there? Can we see them being arraigned in court? That is our request. Thank you, media, for coming. As you go out, pray for our country, Kenya. That is our prayer. The country has gone to the dogs, and the country is a scene of crime. It is to everybody's knowledge, not to Kebaso or foreigners. Thank you. Any question, please?
Yeah. My name is Kasmuel from the Daily Nation. First of all, sorry for what happened to Kebaso, and also maybe the second, can you tell us maybe in terms of update in terms of the degree of injuries and also the action that you as a family, apart from just condemning, what action have you or are you planning to take in terms of maybe his security? Do you feel like he needs proper security arrangement?
Thank you. About the degree of about the degree of injury, a young man like Kebaso receiving chairs being thrown at him in a well-organized way, more than 50 of them, the injuries are there. The doctors are yet to give their final report on the same. About the security, that is why we are appealing to the IG. Kebaso.
Hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute, sir. You were asked, what was the degree of the injuries? Nini imefanyika? Alivunjika meno, amevunjika shingo, mabega. What's wrong? Like, did you break your neck? What's going on? And then he tells us about the degree. Listen to the question and how he's answered. He's saying to be fair, he says the doctors do your jamona, whatever. Listen, so why is he hunched over? What's going on? Like, what's going on? Because we saw him leave Bomas. He was walking with his head up high. Yes, he was under duress. He seems like he was running away from the goons, which is fine. It's understandable. But he was not hunched over acting this way. So, Twende kidogo. Okay, let's just go back a little bit. Right here.
More than a fifth of them, the injuries are there. The doctors are yet to give their final report on.
Okay, wait. So the doctor are yet to give their final report, and he's saying the injuries are there. The question was not if the injuries are there. The reporter asked, what is the extent or the nature of the injuries? He should have told us, okay, the doctor hajaingia the final report, but his neck it seems to be broken or is injured. His neck or his back was, kind of hurts. He has pain in his back, pain in his belly, pain in his hips, pain in his legs. That is the answer that you should give. Should be kind of specific, even though if you're not the doctor, tell us. Or he has pain in his neck, pain in his back, pain in his hands, arms, elbows, whatever, wrist. That is the kind of answer he should be given, because he was asked, what is the extent of the injury? You don't have to be a doctor. Yes, the doctor, you're saying they haven't come to the final conclusion of what really hurts or what happened to him. But you can explain to the reporter that, hey, he suffered some neck injuries, back, elbow, whatever, because as we can see, he's walking like an old man. To me, it's all like acting to me. But let's again, last time, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this, but that answer is not satisfactory, sir.
Organized way, more than a fifth of them, the injuries are there. But also receiving. Thank you. About the degree of
or are you planning to check in terms of maybe his security? Do you think like he needs proper security arrangement?
Thank you. About the degree of injury, a young man like Kebaso receiving chairs being thrown at him in a well-organized way. More than a fifth of them, the injuries are there. The doctors are yet to give their final report on the same. About the security, that is why we are appealing to the IG. Kebaso is, as a Kenyan, is entitled to the security of the state, not goons, to the security of the state. And about what we will do, that we are already appealing to the government to take action against the people who attacked Kebaso. As I've said, we are peace-loving Kenyans. We look upon the government to take action before we think of the way forward. Yes, my brother?
My name is Shakbel from Grand Africa.
Okay, so let me respond to this wonderful comment here, which says, what does it say? What's the comment says? Why I can't read it? Hold on, wait a minute. Quote, he is acting. I don't think your subscribers will agree with you. Are you telling us that all the chairs landing on him were made up? Fake images, if you want. No, I'm not saying what happened to him did not happen. I'm not saying that he was not attacked. That's not in question. What is in question here, what we are questioning is the extent of the injuries. Okay? That's why he was asked, the reporter asked. Yes, we are not disputing that he was attacked by some goons. Alikuwa anatupiwa chairs and whatever. Well and good. I'm not saying well and good that they did that. I'm just saying, yes, we saw that. We can say he was attacked. Okay. We saw him run, was protected, made his way out of bombers, was walking upright. Nothing seems to be hurting. Like he was okay, of course. Maybe trauma or whatever the case is, but he left walking upright, looking pretty much in good shape. Okay. So then the next day he walks around. He's here in this press conference and he's walking all hunched up, his neck looking down, walking like an old man. If you watch the video that I played, the other angle before this one, and he kind of doesn't seem like an injured man. It's almost like he's mimicking an old man. Okay. So the reporter asked, what is the extent of the injuries that he suffered? Okay. And he's saying the doctors have not come to a final conclusion, which means the doctor have seen him, but they haven't come up to the final conclusion. But again, when he was answering that question, he keeps on saying there were, 50 goons and they were throwing whatever. And yes, the injuries are there. We are not questioning if the injuries are there or not. That's not the question. The question was the extent of the injuries. That's why I was saying, why can't he explain? You can be a layman. You can say he has pain on his neck, pain on his back, pain on his elbows, pain on his legs. Okay. You can describe that. You can describe how he feels. He can voice that and say, I have pain in my neck, pain, whatever. It seems like it's broken. I can't use my hand. I can't use my back. I can't stand straight because of the chair. That's all you have to do. Okay. And that's why I'm going to show you later in that interview in Spice FM when Eric kind of brought that up. Was you had a broken tissue or something? What happened? And he dodged that question. He never even answered it. And now I'm looking at it with this video, and this, to me, it kind of shows me that he's faking it. Now, to your point, Justice Orori, you don't have to agree with me. I give you that. Fair game, fair point. I'm not here to make you believe me. I might be wrong. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. You know, if you disagree, that's fine. It's okay. We don't have to be on the same page. I actually encourage people not to agree with me. Just use your eye test and analyze it the way you can, the best way you can, and come up to your own conclusion. In my conclusion, this is an acting job, a badly written script, and he's a bad actor. But let's just wrap this video up, then let's go to the other video that I want to play. Let's just listen in.
I would like to know, since you've said that, and we've seen even online, he was being attacked by uniformed police. I would like to know if you made a statement or even visited the IPOA people to make that.
Number one, we were first concerned with Gebasso's health from the day of his attack. And the weekend came in, so we have been running up and down to see that his health is safe and is fine. The next course of action about seeing the office of IPOA and these other officers, we will do a follow-up. We will do a follow-up at the right time.
Maybe Kebasso can say a word to Kenyans for them to know if it's okay or not.
I think I've already said on behalf of the family that Kebasso is fine. At the moment, we want him to rest.
Thank you.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Creep, being saturated all over, and showing some.
Okay. KK is saying delayed pain is legit, just like hitting the gym, and that day you don't feel anything till a day or more after. Come on, we are better than this. Okay, you're better than this. I'm not better than this. I'm analyzing what's happening, and look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his freaking face. I'm not better than this. I'm sorry, I'm not. We've had too many con men in this country, and I smell one with Morara. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I don't think he's being crafty with it. He's being dodgy with the extent of his injuries, if he was injured at all. So, no, I'm not better than this. I'm not. June 25th. What else? All right. What about that is a family? He's not an expert. He's explaining things the best way he can. You can tell the man is not an expert. His mastery of language tells you he is not that much educated. He's just no. I get what you're saying. I'm not expecting him to give me use medical terms when explaining what's wrong with Morara. The reporter simply asked him, what is the extent of the injuries? He doesn't have to tell us that he has broken ligaments and I don't know, whatever. All he has to say, he has pain in his back. His neck is not okay. He cannot, turn rapidly or whatever. Just simple words. Kichwa inauma, haezi kulala kwa mgongo. That's kind of gives you an idea. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to give us the medical term in your end. Again, you can't say that this man is uneducated, Justice Orori. That's an offense to that gentleman. I mean, he's clear the way he's actually his communication skills are okay. You know, I can understand him. He's Ninio. Now, that has nothing to do with his level of education. So don't put that on him. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Yeah. Now, another reason why I'll tell you this thing is Ninio, because we'll go to Spice FM now. I'll play the whole thing and we are going to analyze his answers and what he was saying regarding his injuries and everything else. Okay? All right. If you follow Morara today, listen, guys, you don't have to agree with me. It's okay. We don't have to be on the same page. I'm just pointing some things out that I felt were odd. Okay? All right. If you follow Morara today, he clearly explained that he was drowsy from heavy medication. How you ever been medicated after an injury? I can say that. Okay. So what does that mean? You're drowsy from medication. What? What was the extent of your injuries? Do you have a broken neck? Do you have a broken back, broken elbow, broken arm, knees, shoulders? Don't tell me about medication. I know medication makes you drowsy. Some medication makes you drowsy. Thank you. He was like, can I please keep repeating the video? Who's that woman trying to hide him using her hair? That's what I'm telling you. People can't see the simple things. We will accept when he tells facts. Okay. Gypsy, why is Morara a topic today after Gachagua saga today? We focus on the area. Rosa, we are not attacking him. We are just raising questions. Why are people so in the... Gypsy, can you help me? Can anyone talk on the articles? Please help me. Someone. Why are people in their feelings? I'm just raising questions. Let me wrap this video up so we can go to the Spice FM one so we can get the real tea on this guy. All right, let's see.
Somebody with a gun and talking behind.
Hold on, look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. No, look at his face here. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face right now. Right now, look at his face. Right here.
Circulated all over and showing somebody with a gun and talking behind. We could hear the background that we are out to finish this guy. It is our humble request again to the IG, the CID and their team that they have the resources. Serikali kuna mkono mrefu. Can they investigate and tell us the person? If they could go to Kebaso's internet and get what he spoke about some forces to be charged in court, why not such a creeps? Who is this talking about how to eliminate Kebaso? And even, recording the conversation showing a gun. Is this one way of eliminating Kebaso or one way of intimidating him? Not so that he cannot come out to speak? We would want to know the truth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Usichukue nyumba. Usichukue nyumba. That's enough.
Hey, wazee, hizi vipindi ziko hapa, hizi vipindi, it's too much. Now, I mentioned this yesterday and the previous day, nikasema, let's tujiulize vizuri. Who frame by frame, pause the video and press to go back. Nani, I asked this. Anyone who really wants to eliminate you, let me use that word. Simuliona ile video, yule mtu alikuwa na gun na sijui nini, which that gentleman was explaining. anyone who is serious about eliminating you, anataka kukutoa, kumaliza, kuue, why would you post a video of that talking about Kebaso, sijui nini, nitakumaliza, sijui hadi kofia ya Raila? Kebaso, you're too much. Kebaso, Morara. All right, let's go to Spice FM. I have to now. Let's get to the Ninio maneno engine. Hold on. Where is the video? Shoot, where is the video? This is 1 month ago. This is today. All right, this is today. Ngojeni kidogo. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me set it up. Hold on. Okay, so let's get to the nitty gritty. Now twende kwa hiyo Ninio. We have to look at these people. Okay, here is. I'm using this for education
joined
purpose.
by Morara Kebaso, who is on his way. He is stuck somewhere on the Mombasa Road in traffic. And when he comes here, we'll be having this conversation of what we are seeing happening in the country and going on. So you wait for him to come, so to give him the proverb.
That we shall do.
Yeah?
We shall wait for him. Participation. Do you think they're going to engage reverse gears when it comes to public participation again?
I wish to be late. It's not in my habit to be late, and I'm sorry.
We accept it.
Okay,
you have a stiff neck, Morara.
I have an injury on the neck, but it's getting better.
How did you acquire this injury?
I went for public participation, or a semblance of public participation.
Yes.
Okay, so he said he has injury on his neck. Now compare his posture from this posture that he's sitting quite upright with the posture that he was having when he was giving that press conference. But let's move on. We'll get to some other stuff.
The expectation that we have when we go for public participation is that every person's voice counts and that nobody is disallowed from coming to public participation. But it seems I was unwelcome to the ODM organized event, and that plans had been made much earlier that I'll be attacked, because by the time I'm being attacked, or that signs of being attacked are showing up, I was actually on my chair seated, raising my hand to speak. It's the public that demanded that I speak, but it was not the wish of the MC, the TJ Kajwang, that I speak. So it's now that I'm, going back into memory to see where I actually got it wrong. And I think there were enough red flags that I should have seen that I did not see. And next time, we fall, we rise, we learn. Because right from, I had announced that I'll go for public participation on my Twitter, on my TikTok, on everywhere. And I'd said my position, that my position is that we impeach both the president and the deputy president. And having made this position known, there are people who are uncomfortable with that position. So by the time I got to Bomas at the entrance, I was blocked by the police from going in. But members of the public, gathered around, and there was a huge crowd, and I was allowed finally to go in. When I went in, the GSU prevented the members of the crowd, and I went to Bomas to the door. I was prevented from entering the door. I went to another door. I was still prevented to go through the other door. I went to the third door. I was still prevented. So when I came back to the first door, and I found a high-ranking officer, and I told her, I'd like to go in. I think she's called Kimani or someone. So she told me I can only go in with one other person. So I think that's where my security was compromised. I don't know whether it was intention on the part of the police to compromise it, but I was only allowed to go in with one person. And other people joined me behind. I sat down. Then I listened to other people give their views. Then when it got to when I want to make my view, I raised my hand. When I raised my hand, the public pointed at me, the whole of Bomas, patia Morara microphone. But TJ Kajwang refused. He instead pointed at me and said, huyu kijana huyu hata haribu mkutano. So I stood up and said, no, sijakuja kuharibu mkutano, nipe microphone, nitoe maoni. And suddenly some people, all right, goons to be particular, came from behind the dais. And they've been identified. Most of them are goons that that work for the Honorable TJ Kajwang. Others work for Honorable Beatrice Alachi, and some of them work for George Aladwa. So they came, and when they came, they didn't come to there was no situation they were coming to calm down. It was not chaos and they are coming to intervene. They came to cause the chaos. They came, started moving tables, picked chairs and started throwing at me. I kept calm and sat down even when chairs were being thrown. But when it got serious, I tried to escape. But the exit towards which I was escaping, I found the door closed. So I was cornered. My bodyguard was injured. He could not defend me anymore. So then I was hit by more than 30 metallic chairs. Some members of the public tried to help me by, putting chairs on me so that every other chair that comes just lands on the other chairs. By the grace of God, some people who were on top held my hand and pulled me up from where I was trapped. And an officer who was brave enough to come in, pick me up, and they took me outside. And outside, I was, evacuated from the place. I went to Nairobi Hospital for treatment. But I left the hospital. I went to
but they're all tissue injuries.
Yeah.
Bone.
God is good, and he's still seated on the throne. I'm happy that I'm.
You hold. Articles utadua gypsy ati hajafura. Then he say, okay, hold on, 30 metallic chairs and no swelling. What? Alafu umesikia nani Eric amesema nini? There's no, listen to this part. This is the nini, the interesting part. Sikia tu hapa hivi. Listen. And listen to his response.
Please, I went to Nairobi Hospital for treatment. But I left the hospital. I went to another hospital when it became public that I was actually at that hospital, because at this time I didn't know what I'm dealing with, and I didn't know how deep the security situation or risk is. So I've been treated. I'm okay. I had head injuries in the back of my head, and I had neck injuries, and one of my legs is also injured.
But they're all tissue injuries. No broken bone.
Skia amesema Eric amesema but they're all tissue injuries, no broken bone. Then listen to the response.
God is good, and he's still seated on the throne. I'm happy that I'm alive, that I don't have any permanent injury or, I'm not paralyzed. I'm not on a wheelchair. Actually, I'm back in circulation. So unaniona.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back in circulation.
Karibu. City.
I'm done with this guy. I'm done. Ati God is good. Anaongea kama Ruto na ana kama Let's go on. Let's get to the meeting. In my Ninium, I've established which Ali, as funny as it sounds, Atticus and Gypsy made a very good point. Wanasema hivi, Chali, ukitupiwa viti na zikuchape kwa kichwa, si tungekuanga na hata kanundu hapa kwa kichwa hapa hivi, something if they meta kasura kamefura, something ka scratch kitu. Ai boss, ai hizi mchezo wa mtao ni hawa tu.
One of the days proverb.
Yes, our proverbs from this week, and
then now you go after the culprit, which will be.
Let's get to that.
Friday, which was the public participation for the removal by impeachment of Deputy President Gachagua. People knew that this is going to happen. People turned up in the various 47 centers across the country. And it appears that there was sort of a uniform message of some were saying, yes, Rigathi must go. Others are saying, if Rigathi must go, why don't they both go? You're saying that's the message that you had as well, Morara.
Yes, I'm actually one of the pioneers of that message. Because that message actually, before it even went out to the public, it began quite a while ago. Me and my team were seated together and we were asking ourselves, this Gachagua impeachment, it is diverting the Kenyans' attention from the main issues. It's diverting Kenyans' attention from SHIF. It's diverting from university funding models, diverting from issues of corruption and many other issues. And we asked ourselves, what do we do? We realized first we cannot avoid the conversation. Much as we didn't think of it as important, we realized we can't avoid it because it is an emotional issue. It's an issue of public importance, and it's an issue that is going to be the one that will carry the headlines on newspapers and on TV. So we decided then we have to join the conversation. But when we join the conversation, what is going to be our position as young people who would like to see change in our country? And we realized that, one, we need to detribalize. We need to completely detribalize the issue of accountability. Because until when we began our agitation for impeach both, there was this feeling that the deputy president was being pursued or being attacked as a Kikuyu and as a person from Mount Kenya. It became a Mount Kenya issue that, you see, this is an attack against Kikuyus. And the deputy president was beginning to gain a lot of sympathy from the Mount Kenya region, from people who feel like we supported President William Ruto, we voted to the last man, and here he is attacking our guy. Then we said, okay, how do we clear the noise? Because there's too much noise, there's too much smoke. And when there's too much smog and smoke, people cannot see through the real issues. We said, let us impeach both of them. So that when we say impeach both, there are people who will now start seeing this for what it is. They realize that this is neither a Kikuyu issue or a Kalenjin issue. This is an issue of accountability. Because when you say impeach both, essentially what you're saying is both of them are corrupt. And both of them are failed Kenyans. Gachagua may be corrupt, may be tribal by words, but the Honorable William Ruto, our president, is tribal by actions. Beginning with how he does his state appointments and division of...
If he's tribal, why are you referring to him as honorable? But let's continue. That's besides the point. He's getting to where I want to...
even resources. So that is how we began the impeach both. And now it has become bigger than me, bigger than everybody else. It is being spoken all over the country, including...
Shit. Hiyo vita yenu ya comment section, I will not partake. Nitaangalia kwa mbali. Gypsy. Sorry, guys. I missed. Kumbe I've missed Ninio. I was supposed to show the video and mi niko hapa hivi naonga mambo yangu. Ai. Na hata mniambi. I'm focusing on hizo vita zenu. Hebu niendelee na mambo.
Both of them.
But they don't downplay your method of data collection. Observation is a primary source of data collection.
It begins there.
Yes, in fact, they are observational studies. They are scientific studies for that matter.
Yes.
As for what you refer to as random, that is also a perfect way of gathering information. Which means someone can say you didn't select, you didn't predetermine, you randomly selected. Now, if you randomly select and that is the response that you say you have garnered, there is credence to it. It is not something that you can ignore.
Yes.
Yes.
But I think the members of parliament had a different opinion. The members of parliament had a predetermined opinion when they were going for public participation. And I believe our members of parliament have lost the true understanding of what public participation is. The members of parliament in Kenya wameacha kuwa wajumbe. Because mjumbe comes from the word ujumbe. And the work of mjumbe ni kutoa ujumbe ambayo imetoka kwa wananchi kupeleka kwa bunge. Bunge ya ujumbe ambayo imeletwa na wajumbe. But now our members of parliament are bringing ujumbe to the people. All right? They've reversed the role. They are the ones informing the public rather than the public informing them. They forgot that they were elected to represent the public and that the public is the one that they are representing in parliament.
You do know that when you represent the public, there's the element of accountability that comes along with it. And if you look at those whom we refer to as elected leaders, they are loath to any form of accountability, completely loath to it. They abrogated that particular function a long time ago. They replaced it with impunity, meaning, as you see with great clarity, they will decide what they want to do and they expect you, the electorate, to follow. That is how our elected leaders have fashioned themselves over time. And the only time when they were shaken out of this particular mental condition that they have is during the Gen Zs, when the Gen Zs invaded parliament. That's when they actually got shaken. Now, in my mind, they seem to think that it is over. I don't think they understand that it has actually just begun. This thing is far from over.
You see, this is a city together with Latif. This is no longer a Gen Z issue, as you've correctly observed. The Gen Z may have begun it, but the pub.
Yeah, and it was never a Gen Z issue. It was always a Kenyan issue. The majority of young folks who were there, yes, they were Gen Z, but it wasn't Gen Z alone. That's why I took an issue with, I think, Eric, not Latif, but whoever was in X yesterday when he was lambasting the millennials at nyinyi hamkufanya kitu, whatever. The movement, the so-called Gen Z movement was not a Gen Z movement. It was all Kenyans. Yes, majority might have been Gen Z because they're young and youthful and they're out there, whatever, but there were millennials and X and Wazee, not the same number, but it was a Kenyan issue, but it was labeled a Gen Z movement. But anyway, let's go on.
Public, millennials, Generation X's, and all other people have said these children are right. Whatever they are saying is true. And it has been picked up by the rest of the nation. So if there is ever going to be an Occupy Parliament Season 2, it will not just be Gen Zs. It will be Kenyans. And it will be dangerous. This week, I'm beginning a campaign. And the campaign is for reconstitution of IEBC because we want to recall members of parliament because they no longer represent the voice of the people.
Okay. Pay attention. He said this week he wants to focus on the reconstitution of the IEBC. He's a lawyer, so I assume he knows what's going on. There's a IEBC amendment bill in place already. that we all agree when we went through this. I made a video a few weeks, months ago about how the sections of that amendment bill favors the very political class that will get a huge say in choosing the next IEBC commissioner. Not only that, it also leaves room for rigging. So on the surface, while he might tell us that he's going to advocate for this IEBC, to IEBC commissioner to be reconstituted, it has been in motion. Okay, it has been in motion. They posed on it, whatever the case is. But whatever the commissioner who is going to be picked by the two political outfits, Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, who are now in bed together, the referee, the commissioners that are going to be chosen are going to work for them. They're handpicked by them. Okay? So his campaign that he wants to embark on next week, I don't think it's helpful. If anything, he should be calling for a total overhaul. That's why I'm saying this guy, he has his ass backwards. But anyway, let's continue listening to. That's my first issue with him. But let's continue.
And it's going to be serious, this IEBC.
And if I may add, he's a lawyer, so he might know something about that IEBC amendment bill. Why can't he speak about the sections of that IEBC amendment bill that is not favorable to wananchi, i.e., the mobile voting stations, okay? And why is it that it's only a majority of these two political briefcase alliance that will have a huge say on who becomes the commissioner? Why can't he speak about that? Why does he wants to tell people that, okay, they should have a commissioner? Of course, the law has already been changed to favor the very political class that want Neo. I want him to, that's what he should be in Neo. If he says that I'll be embarking on an Neo campaign against this amendment bill for it to be in Neo, to be repealed, then I will be with him. But if he's coming out and saying, oh, we need to reconstitute the IEBC, I'm sorry, that has been done, settled. NADCO report. Listen, guys, let me walk you through something. Let me walk you through something here. This is why I say this guy is a sham. The whole IEBC thing, reconstitution of IEBC, has been taken care of by Raila and Kalonzo and Ruto in that NADCO report. That's why they passed it. It's a law now. It's a law. There's a law in place that favors those guys who are in NADCO report, okay, to choose, to handpick who is going to be the next IEBC commissioner. So for him to come out and campaign for the reconstituting of the IEBC, it's basically him rubber stamping what has already been made law, which the process was actually unconstitutional. Remember, that is what the judge said about the NADCO report, which has been implemented. He told Ruto, because the Nino said the president was supposed to be picking the selection panel. The selection panel was to in turn pick the IEBC commissioners. Okay? But wakina Raila wakapiga makelele hapo akasema NADCO. And the judge said this was unconstitutional. So as it stands, that law, the amendment bill that was passed, that Raila went and signed with Ruto and Nani, with Kalonzo there to the Neo, that is unconstitutional. But here is Morara wants to embark on this campaign to rubber stamp what already has been declared unconstitutional. Let's go on. That's my problem with him. Let's go
campaign
on.
Reconstitution, because we are stuck. We are stuck with an abusive relationship, an emotionally abusive relationship with our members of parliament who don't care. Sometimes they even apologize. Yeah, the member of parliament for Manyata even apologized for voting yes. But do they learn? They don't. Why? Because they don't care. This is not part of their interest. Their event has allowed them to register enough companies to do business with the government. Everybody is on a self-enrichment drive. If they are going to question the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua on how he acquired all this wealth, I don't defend him. In fact, personally, I think impeachment of the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is good riddance. It's good riddance for everyone. Because some people in the mountain were beginning to say Honorable Rigathi Gachagua for president. And you know, the mountain is rich with votes. And those votes can actually be used to create a very strong presidential candidate. And if that presidential candidate is the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, then it is jumping right from the frying pan into the fire. It is my personal belief that the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is a worse leader than even Honorable William Ruto in terms of what he stands for, what he believes in, his history of corruption, and everything else. So I think he should be impeached. All right.
How is Gachagua worse than Ruto? I'll let the people in the comments deal with that question.
The only problem is that the people impeaching him also deserve to be impeached. We have members of parliament who have acquired enormous, amazing amount of wealth that is so crazy. You cannot even understand how they made it. They are accusing him of acquiring 5.2 billion. Why are we not asking the Honorable Didmas Baraza what is the cost of a helicopter? What are his known sources of income? Is he an athlete? Is he a musician? Does he produce art? Where did he afford to buy a helicopter? Does he have a cement manufacturing company? What industry does he run? Why are we not asking the Honorable, Kimani Ichung'wah, how he managed to buy a Mercedes G-Wagon, which cost 14 million? All right. He may afford it, but at least he should explain it, isn't it? So recently I was at Endarasha for the service for these children that died in fire. The Honorable Ndindi Nyoro landed with a red helicopter. Yeah, should be able to be accountable to the public and say, is the helicopter his or he hired it? And if he hired it, how many times this month has he hired a helicopter and for how many hours? And how did he afford to pay 250,000 per hour for all those hours vis-a-vis his salary? Okay, these members of parliament, they themselves, they've acquired wealth in ways, everything they're accusing the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua of doing, they have done it themselves. But because it's a political process, they may push with it and finish with it. Now we need to find a way to also impeach the impeacher. Yeah, we need to find a way to impeach the impeacher.
I actually find the deputy president a fairly honest man. That is my honest opinion. His sin is he says things which politically...
Again, I think he contradicts himself because he said at first he agrees that these parliamentarians, they had it backwards because he's talking about ujumbe. They're supposed to be wajumbe wetu. Remember that? Then now here he's talking about they should, he's supporting the impeachment of Gachagua. And he recognized that these parliamentarians will be moving forward and impeaching him, and he doesn't have a problem with that. And then he goes ahead and says, we should impeach the impeacher. Now, if these impeachers, you said, and you gave an example of Barasa, Didmas Barasa and Ichung'wah, being corrupt, they can't account for their wealth. How do you expect them to impeach themselves in this process? Okay? You agree with them to impeach Gachagua, then you expect them to be impeached. There's a disconnect there. If you recognize that the system is rotten, these impeachers are as corrupt as Gachagua, who they want to impeach, and you also agree that Gachagua's boss, whose Ruto, is corrupt, you cannot rely on that system to do the right thing or to hold itself accountable. You have to act outside of it. And the only way you can do that is to go back to the constitution and exercise the sovereign authority of the people, who are then going to represent themselves directly. Okay, the people, that's the only way. The people have to express them, represent themselves directly in order to remove this impeacher and the impeachees whether it's Ruto, Gachagua, and the National Assembly and the Senate and this representatives, because he agrees that the impeached, these representatives are not representing us. Si wajumbe, hawa wanatuletea ujumbe, and they're supposed to be on it's the other way. So he's a confused object of art and design. Let's go ahead.
Are clear one should not say. He says what people think, what people do, he says it. Now, some may say it is naive, some may say he shouldn't say it so, but there are very few things I can say the Deputy President has lied about. Very few. Lying, outright lying, there are very, very few. In fact, when I say few, it means there may be some I haven't caught of, but I find the Deputy President perhaps a little too honest for his own good. Because which politician, which leader does not look after the interest of the people? People here being close friends and those who come from his neck of the woods. Who doesn't do that?
His vote block.
Yes, who doesn't? This being Kenyan doesn't mean that you don't look after people who are close to you. Now, so when someone declares it in the manner that he declares it, which people find unpalatable, he is speaking a simple truth that each and every politician in this country, past, present, and the future, practice.
In fact, that's how they're known, the politicians.
Yes. How else are people known?
The reason I think he should be impeached is because when you are a deputy, just deputize. Please, just deputize the president. You may be a leader.
Okay, why should he deputize the president if the whole country agrees that Ruto ni mwongo, and the very charges that you are accusing Gachagua of committing as grounds for impeachment are the very charges that can be applied on Ruto, who is his boss? Why is it so hard for these people to get to wrap their head
in your own right? But you're a deputy president. Can you kindly deputize the president? Personally, I think if we ever get another chance to do a referendum to amend the constitution, I think the deputy president should be appointed by the president. And this is good for the stability of the nation. You see, right now, it may look okay because we have a dishonest president.
We do not touch the constitution, sir. The problem is not the constitution. Whether the president picks the deputy or not, the problem is not the constitution. Listen to where he's going with this.
Therefore, it may look okay when the deputy president is actually saying whatever he's saying. But remember, there is a law about the National Secrets and Act, which actually prevents him from revealing information that shall come to his knowledge, yes, by virtue of his office. Secondly, when you are a deputy to someone and you contradict them in any organization, even if it's, forget government, even if it is in the company Standard Media Group, and you have a deputy that is, contradicting your position, the problem is that it risks the stability and progress of the company. And
absolutely not. People can have different views. That's why I even encourage people in this channel to disagree with me. You don't have to be an echo chamber, sock puppets, and just go by what I say. Think for yourself. That's what I encourage. Like the gentleman who came here and challenged me, and I respect that. Now, having a disagreement in a cooperation setting or in a country or in a democracy that you say will not bring any will not destabilize the organization. That even is a sign of growth. People don't have to agree on everything. The deputy can disagree with the president, okay? Whether it's public or privately, it's okay. Now, if it gets to a point where the deputy is undermining the president's policy, then that's a different case. But if the president is being told by the people that we don't want to go this way, and the deputy agrees with the people that going that way is wrong, then you can't blame the deputy for disagreeing with the where the president is taking us. But disagreement is not grounds for impeachment. Disagreement is actually healthy. That's why I encourage it, even in this channel. Let's go.
And the deputy could be right. But these are things that you only say in confidence. If you failed to earn the confidence of the president, my prescription would be, don't take your outbursts to the public. Do not show your disregard or disappointment with the president in open public, or vilify state officers like the director of the director of intelligence, or a judge, Esther Maina. Don't do that. Just do this. Be dissatisfied with the government, honorably resign, become a politician, then now speak about your issues freely. But for as long as you're in a system, a command structure.
Ruto disagreed with judges. In fact, he called them wakora, corrupt judiciary. Even the same charges you're giving Ruto, you're charging against Gachagua can be Ninio on Ruto. So why are you going for Ninio? Go for the both of them. But anyway, whatever. Let's wrap this up.
Structure, a command structure that is a presidency, where this is the executive, our boss is the president, I'm the deputy president, we have cabinet ministers. Then you are consistently, without fail, contradicting the position of the president and undermining his authority. I don't like Honorable William Ruto myself, but I think there should be respect for the office of the president, even for us who will come as presidents, Morara, so that we retain Morara, that respect.
Where does contradiction equal disrespect?
Good question.
Because you have a role, and that role is to deputize. Let me give a good example. I have a wife at home. If I give a position to my children and my wife disagrees with me right in front of the children, then what is that?
Make it a debate. Tell the children, what do you think?
Good point.
This is what your mother says. This is what I think. Let's make this a family discussion. What do you think?
Yes.
There's a reason why I'm giving you this. Yes, make it a family discussion.
Open it up.
Yes, don't take an offense. Your children will learn that they have an accommodating father and they have parents who have differing views, and they allow us to actually express ours.
Because that is the truth.
Yes.
That is the nature. It cannot be that what the head thinks is what the deputy will also think.
But the other thing is that
anyway, that was pretty much the interview. Anyway, like I said, the three things that I found very disappointing and suspicious about this guy, when he made the whole injury thing, and he was not clear. He was kind of dodgy about that thing. Number two, the whole pushing over Gachagua. Then he kind of mentioned this constitution thing, and I mean, the case he's making against Gachagua, you can make a better case using the same charges against Ruto. So it doesn't make sense if you're going after the deputy while the head of the snake is the one who's actually causing much damage. So I'm not really right. He was stopped in these tracks. I don't have any faith on this Morara guy. If you support him, God bless you. Hakuna ubaya. You have the right to support anyone. In my eyes, Ujaman, he's working for somebody. I think he's working for the government, or like Nani, the same way Kasmuel, Morara, Gachagua. They're just stirring up this commotion, hizi madrama, just to keep on ndio watu wasizungumze mambo ya ndani na mambo mengine ambao really matters, because we know what's happening under the hii mambo ya ndani, JKIA and all this stuff, the stuff that really matters. Kenya is being sold out, and we're not paying attention to those things. We're just wasting time with these mambo. But it will make news, and people will make viral videos and all that stuff. So in conclusion, in my personal opinion, and you don't have to agree with me, you can disagree with me, I would say Morara is in the same basket as Kasmuel. He hasn't been found out yet. It's just a matter of time where it's going to be clear, and we shall really know that. Once he started that inject party, akaanza kujini, then he's just no. Anyway, that's the whole point of all this. I know today, if you are expecting me to talk about Rigathi Gachagua, I know he was somewhere there explaining his whatever. I'm not really interested. Maybe one more. But again, always think for yourself, people. Always think for yourself. Thank you so much, everybody. Atticus, KK, Gypsy Corner, Rosa M, and everyone that agrees and disagree with me. I have to leave it here. I won't be staying home. It's Monday. Kesho ni Tuesday and good job na hizo mambo yetu. But thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember to like, subscribe, share, like, comment and all that good stuff. Amaniaji. Sawa, tuonane kesho. Peace and blessings. I'm out.